The movie starts by providing information about a dangerous virus that was unleashed in 1996. This virus caused the majority of humanity to perish, forcing the surviving individuals to seek refuge underground. It is believed that a group called the Army of the 12 Monkeys was responsible for releasing the virus. In a tense moment, a frightened child witnesses a man being shot, and a woman rushes to help him, but it is too late. Suddenly, another man named James Cole wakes up from what seems to have been a dream. James is a prisoner in a post-apocalyptic society, and his friend Jose informs him that he has been selected for a supposedly voluntary task. James knows that many prisoners do not return from this task or come back mentally unstable. He is then transported to another location where he is equipped with special protective gear to venture to the Earth's surface. As James explores the desolate city, he collects samples of life he can find, such as insects. Along his journey, he encounters an old sign with the words, "We did it," and a symbol of a monkey with the number 12 on top. When he returns, he undergoes a thorough disinfection process and is presented before a group of scientists. They offer James a reduction in his prison sentence in exchange for carrying out a special mission that could restore humanity's previous way of life. James is chosen for this task because it requires someone with a strong mentality. The story then jumps back in time to 1990 in Baltimore, where a psychiatrist named Catherine Rayleigh is asked to attend to a disoriented and aggressive patient. This patient turns out to be James Cole. Catherine tries to help him, but he is disturbed and insists on gathering certain information. James believes he is in the year 1996, but Catherine reveals that they are actually in 1990. James is taken to a psychiatric hospital, where he meets Jeffrey Goins, a flamboyant patient who befriends him and gives him a tour of the facility. The doctors at the hospital interview James in an attempt to understand him better. He tells them that between 1996 and 1997, 5 billion people died from a virus, which is almost the entire population of the 1990s. Naturally, the doctors do not believe him. James wants to contact the future scientists for help, and they allow him to make a call, but it is not the correct number yet. Once again, James experiences the dream from the beginning. He wakes up in a crowded bedroom with other inmates, and Jeffrey approaches him to discuss their escape plan. Jeffrey hints at his influential father, but becomes agitated, attracting the attention of the staff. The next day, Jeffrey returns, and James witnesses animal experimentation, commenting on how the human race might deserve extinction. Jeffrey responds positively, and then reveals that he has a key to escape, although James is not fully aware due to sedation. Despite the difficulties, Jeffrey causes a commotion to distract the staff, allowing James to escape the room using the key. However, James is unable to leave the building unnoticed, and is eventually caught, subdued, and tied to a stretcher. The head doctor scolds Catherine for not handling James properly, but a nurse interrupts, reporting that James has mysteriously disappeared, despite being fully sedated and bound. Again, the dream sequence is shown, depicting a child witnessing a man escaping from the police. That man is Jeffrey. James wakes up in the present, where he informs the scientists that they sent him to the wrong year. They show him photos of objects and people to determine if he encountered any during his journey into the past. James recognizes Jeffrey and accepts the opportunity to try again and gather information on the origins of the deadly virus. The machine is prepared, and James is warned not to make any mistakes this time. By accident, James finds himself on a battlefield during the First World War. Confused, he is shot in the leg by one of the soldiers. However, the machine functions correctly this time, and James is transported to November 1996. Psychiatrist Catherine Rayleigh delivers a presentation on individuals who predicted the end of humanity throughout history. After her lecture, she meets Dr. Peters, who tells her that the alarmists who predict an apocalypse are the ones who are right. As Catherine leaves the venue, she is kidnapped by a man who forces her to drive to Philadelphia. That man is James, and Catherine quickly recognizes him. The next day, they wake up in a hotel room where James has the same dream again, and he realizes that the woman tied up in the bed is Dr. Rayleigh herself. "My dream just now," he says. They continue their journey by car, and James informs Catherine that he is still in pursuit of the Army of the 12 Monkeys, believing that they unleashed the deadly virus. While driving, James makes Catherine stop the car when he notices paintings depicting the 12 Monkeys symbol. Although Catherine has the opportunity to escape, she chooses to follow James. They trace the paintings to an abandoned theater, where they are attacked by 2 thugs. James defeats them and takes a weapon they are carrying. After leaving the theater, James recognizes a pig's head from one of the photos shown by the scientists. He knows that he must enter the building associated with the pig's head. Once inside, he coerces a group of young people to disclose everything they know about the Army of the 12 Monkeys. It is revealed that Jeffrey Goins is the founder of the group. His father is a renowned virologist, and Jeffrey has been involved in various acts of vandalism vandalism and activism. James and Catherine escape in a stolen car, but stop in a forest to tend to James's gunshot wound. James then independently contacts Jeffrey at an event organized by his father in an attempt to obtain information about the virus. However, Jeffrey claims that it was James who gave him the idea to eliminate humanity using a virus stolen from his father, denying any association with the army of the 12 monkeys. Guards capture James for his attack on Jeffrey, but he manages to break free and escape. He runs back to the forest where he left Catherine and opens the car trunk where she is waiting. Cole had forcibly restrained Rayleigh in the room to prevent her from escaping. Enraged, she attacks him until she eventually calms down. Cole confesses that he might be responsible for the near extinction of humanity, but Rayleigh remains skeptical. In the darkness of the forest, they hear flashlights and whistles approaching. The police are closing in on Cole. As they approach, Cole envisions a world without the virus problem. Rayleigh distracts the police to buy Cole some time, but when she turns around to find him, he has vanished. Rayleigh finds herself at a police station, recounting the events involving Cole, still shaken by her harrowing experience. Meanwhile, Cole is in a recovery room where the future scientists appear and sing to him, aware of his love for music. They congratulate him on successfully gathering information about the 12 monkeys, but Cole is upset, feeling like he is losing his sanity. As a result, they sedate him. Rayleigh experiences nightmares and receives a phone call from a police officer who examines the bullet extracted from Cole's leg. Surprisingly, the bullet turns out to be from before the 1920s. Shocked, Rayleigh searches through her documents for a photo that confirms her suspicions. Cole had indeed traveled back to the First World War. Rayleigh contacts Jeffrey's father, the renowned virologist, to warn him about the safety of his laboratories. However, he dismisses her warnings. In that very laboratory, Rayleigh encounters Dr. Peters, the same person who attended her presentation. Briefly returning to the future, Cole discusses the origin of the virus with the scientists, before being sent back to the past. In the present, Rayleigh tries to get the attention of those inside the building she had previously visited with Cole. Inside, Jeffrey and a group of activists are preparing for a plan. Cole emerges from the crowd, and Rayleigh helps him evade the pursuing police. They reach a dilapidated area of the city and find refuge in a hotel, where they rent a room for a short period. However, the receptionist becomes suspicious and makes a call. In the room, Rayleigh and Cole discuss the events that have transpired since they last saw each other. The roles seem to have reversed. Cole now questions his sanity, while Rayleigh believes that he was telling the truth. Cole expresses his desire to stay with Rayleigh at this time. Suddenly, a pimp bursts into the room, mistaking Rayleigh for a prostitute and assaulting her. Cole intervenes, subdues the pimp, and removes one of his teeth, stating, "I'm not crazy. This is how they find us." They manage to escape, and Rayleigh calls the number provided by the scientists. The call confirms that Cole's delusions were real. They visit a store to change their appearance and avoid recognition. While this is happening, Jeffrey and his group of activists set their plan in motion and kidnap Jeffrey's father, who is disappointed by his son's descent into insanity. The group heads to a zoo to free the animals and imprison Jeffrey's father. Meanwhile, Rayleigh, in a movie theater, disguises Cole with a mustache and wig, and she dyes her hair blonde. It is then that Cole realizes that the woman in his dreams was always Rayleigh. They both decide to head to Florida, as Cole has never seen the sea before the apocalypse. The following day, they make their way to the airport, and Cole recognizes it as the place from his recurring dream. The police are patrolling, searching for Cole. Rayleigh offers to retrieve the plane tickets, but before she can do so, Cole hands her a briefcase. While Rayleigh is occupied, Cole takes the opportunity to make a call, using the number provided by the scientists, informing them that the army of the 12 monkeys was not responsible for the catastrophe. They were merely a group of activists. At the reception desk, a man requests flight tickets to various destinations that coincide with the locations where the virus initially spread. For a moment, the child from Cole's dream enters the airport, realizing that the child is a younger version of himself. Meanwhile, Cole encounters his old friend Jose, who is aware of everything that has transpired. Jose provides Cole with a weapon and instructs him to shoot a target. Rayleigh spots Dr. Peters, the person who purchased the plane tickets to multiple destinations and who works with dangerous viruses alongside Jeffrey's father. Rayleigh suspects that Dr. Peters is involved in the virus's spread in the future, and she warns Cole. Dr. Peters proceeds through security, preparing to board his flight. Security personnel inspect his suitcase and ask him to open the containers holding the virus. Rayleigh and Cole attempt to bypass the security line, but are held back. Amidst the chaos, Rayleigh notices Dr. Peters making his way to the boarding gate, and she draws attention to him. Cole, determined, brandishes his gun, ready to shoot Dr. Peters. However, the police act swiftly, shooting Cole instead. Devastated, Cole falls to the ground, and Rayleigh rushes to his aid, although it is clear that that there is nothing she can do. As a child, Cole witnessed everything unfold. His recurring dream was, in fact, a glimpse into reality. Dr. Peters boards the plane and sits next to a woman who laments the violence and suggests that humanity might be the next endangered species. Unbeknownst to her, she is one of the future scientists, and Dr. Peters concurs with her statement. Cole, as a child, leaves the airport with his parents and gazes at the source of the impending apocalypse. The movie comes full circle, ending as it had begun, marking its conclusion. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.